Hello, and welcome to In Retro, Episode 4, Dungeon Master, 1988 by FTL Games.
Faster than light.
Dungeon Master is a three-dimensional, real-time dungeon crawler, accredited with narrowing the divide between the smelly, unshaven, 12-sided die D&D crowd and the bloated, manic-depressant, haven't seen any sunlight for 3 days RPG gamer crowd of the late 1980s. Prior to the release of Dungeon Master, many RPGs for the home computer had tried unsuccessfully to usurp the traditional cardboard format of D&D. But once FTL stepped into the ring, let's just say this. Traditional D&D had a random encounter with destiny. A quick demonstration of Dungeon Master should be enough to prove to anyone why this game was the #1 best-selling game of all time for the Atari ST, and why it is one of the most decorated video games of all time. Which brings me to my next point. Dungeon Master boasts a cornucopia of accolades, not least of which being its induction into the Video Game Hall of Fame. Oh yeah! And because of its undeniable awesomeness, Dungeon Master was ported to almost every capable system at that time, translated to many different languages, including Elf, but most of all, it just busted heads like no other game could. For the player, your journey begins in the Sacred Hall of Heroes, where the player must first resurrect a total of 4 party members out of a pool of 24 exceptional candidates, each with their own unique skill set and equipment. Christian Slater, Marina Sirtis, Chewie Chewbacca, and Shirley Temple. Once the pride is assembled, the player is thrust downward into a massive underground labyrinth in search of a derelict wizard named Chaos. No doubt a predecessor of the renowned Captain Chaos.
What are you, some kind of nut? Who do you think you are? Dun, dun, dun! I am Captain Chaos.
Naturally, the player's journey is not without its hardships. In addition to encountering dozens of wandering creatures of every description, the player must battle thirst, hunger, injury, and fatigue, all the while keeping his torch supply in check, as Dungeon Master was one of the first games to feature dynamic lighting, i.e., if you run out of torches, Chewie gets a big bump on his head. All said, Dungeon Master is a perfect blend of puzzle-solving, skill development, exploration, and brutal face-to-face real-time combat. These elements, along with a suitable difficulty gradient, are what keep the gameplay on rails all the way to the end. Stay tuned for the extended version of this episode, where Ben from NerdBalloon.com takes a closer look at